Are the Armenians still alive? Yes, they are. Still alive. Starting location all the way down here, but they're still up here for some random reason. Someone in the comment section said maybe they were bribed by a diplomat. I cannot see any anywhere, but you know, it's certainly possible. That could explain it. Welcome to part 3 of the Rome Total War Randomiser Mod, the AI only campaign, and as said, this episode is probably going to be about big powers versus big powers. I entirely expect a war between the Greeks and the Scipii, and a war between the Julii and the Germans. By the end of this episode we'll be left with 2 superpowers. Most likely 2 Roman factions. Let's begin. And kicking this episode off, we have the Germans attacking the Spanish. Yeah, Spain is looking weak right now. They really don't need this. Oh, they pushed the Germans back, but I saw some more Germans come in. Yeah, German reinforcements come in, Romans come in. I cannot see Spain lasting too much longer. Oh, it's the Macedonians to take Rhodes. Interesting, I thought it was going to be like the Julii or the Scipii, but no, Macedon. Kind of a waste of a Colossus though, really, like, you know, 40% trade increase on just 2 settlements. Come on, Macedon, that's a bit of a waste. Like, it's good for them, but, like, come on to the AI overall, like, the Scipii could have done so much more with that. Well, anyway, well done to the Macedonians, they took it. Client Kingdom established. Ooh, the Scipii have had vassalised the Egyptians, but now they're back at war. They've realised they want it for themselves. Cannot blame them, I would. It's only logical, they might as well take it. And of course the Germans making a push back on Spain again. Surely this time round they're gonna take something. No, they didn't. They actually got pushed back again. But anyway, the Julii are here. Ah, look, the House of Scipii has vassalised the Egyptians. And that time they actually did. The Julii push on the Spanish now. Yeah, they want this land for themselves. Like right now, in terms of land, I'll say both powers are very even when it comes to the Middle East. So these final 2 territories here, they're going to be quite important ones, and defensive as well in the mountains. Like this could be a big decider in the war. The Macedonian comeback! They've landed and they're taking Tarsus. Oh, now that's interesting. Oh, now this is interesting. If the Macedonians were to actually have some success against the Julii, and the Germans attack at the same time, that could be what these factions need to actually bring down the Julii. Otherwise, I think it's pretty obvious the Julii will win. I think if they work together, they could beat back the Julii. Interesting. Yeah, whilst all Julii troops are focused up here on the Spanish. Well played, Macedon, well played. Oh, never mind. The Julii bought them out, never mind. Oh, stupid AI. Parthia down to their final settlement, as the Greeks cut them off. Interesting, and I believe this settlement here was British. It's now Scipian. Scipian? Sorry, Scipian. And they're continuing to expand as well. Ooh. Not looking good for the British. They don't have any troops, do they? No, it's just garrison forces. Of course, poor quality settlements, they can't really afford anything. Scipii has broken their vassal agreement with the Egyptians and gone to war again. Macedon has broken their truce with the Julii and gone to war again. Oh, the Seleucid Empire storm into Iberia, they take Ostia, and they completely end up regicide in Dacia. Regicide, for those who don't know, is where you kill all the family members, or the faction leader and faction heir in one battle. what happens is the entire faction dies and becomes rebel. Yeah, well done to the Seleucid Empire, so faction destroyed. Dacia. I really did not expect them to come next. Oh, Egypt, rest in peace. The Scipii finally broke them. The United Nations of the Roman world has fallen. RIP Egypt, faction destroyed. Okay, so it seems at some point Macedon and the Julii signed a truce and they are back at war. I'm sure this AI is a little bit repetitive at times. Alright, but we gotta talk about something now. The Scipii. Where next? You know, that we always say where next with factions that get very big and very powerful, once they've cleared out all their enemies. We usually get some hints at times, but I really don't know. They could continue pushing for the British. I would see that as a mistake. If I was them, I would push on for the Seleucid Empire and finish off the rest of Italy. But a war with the Greeks is entirely possible. Can we get some diplomatic info out of them? They are at war with Britain, allied with the Greeks and Seleucids, so that might not happen. Yeah, it might just be a push for the British. That's good for the overall other AIs though. Because if the Scipii, the most powerful faction right now, is going to play stupid, that's good for everyone else. Buys them a bit of time. Macedon and the Julii have signed a ceasefire. Oh no! The Armenians. Carthage, really? Did you have to kill them? Oh, they're rebel now. No. RIP. By the way, I am curious of something. Have the Marian reforms hit for the Romans? Yes. Yes, they have the Marian reforms. Okay, that explains it. Faction destroyed Parthia? Oh, faction destroyed Armenia. Right, let's pretend we haven't seen anything. Get back into there. Okay, here we go. Oh no, Parthia, the Greek city-states. How could you do such a thing? Faction destroyed Parthia. RIP. Ah, that's not good. Although it kind of is. It makes the series a bit quicker, I guess, but there we go. We are really down to just 4 superpowers at this point. No, 4 great powers, not superpowers yet. And they're bound to war eventually. At the end of this video, I'll check out the stats. Could you say at this point the Seleucid Empire is a great power? Nah, I wouldn't say so. Nah. And it was the Seleucid Empire who took Carthago, what's it called? Nova, is it? I don't know, it doesn't sound right now that I think about it. Carthago Nova. Yeah, Carthago Nova, of course. Don't know why I got stuck there. War declared, and who would expect it? Macedon versus the Julii. The Julii still battering these Spanish. Surely they've got to take it eventually. Oh, as soon as I say that, they do. Well done to the Julii. Macedon and the Julii are at war again? Oh, I would never have seen that coming. Breaking news, Macedon and the Julii have signed a ceasefire. Also, interesting move by the Germans. They are not interested in weakening the Julii and working with Macedon. No, they're pushing into Africa. They want to take Carthage out. Interesting. Are we going to see a German barbarian Carthage? Oh, I'd love to see that. This just in, Macedon and the Julii at war. Who's gonna win? Okay, but this one here is actually kind of interesting. The Seleucid Empire versus the Brutii. Okay, no settlements under attack yet, but yeah, certainly interesting. If the Seleucid Empire can actually destroy the Brutii, I will say they are a great power. If the Brutii happen to destroy the Seleucid Empire, you know, vice versa, they're a great power, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, I think it will be easier for the Seleucid Empire to go from here to here, rather than the Brutii to go from here, all the way around here, across the Alps, and down to Arretium. Yep, this happened again. Yep, that happened again. Yep, peace again. Oh, interesting. Ooh, the Julii. I just saw they're at war with the British, and they're pushing up for Campus Alani. Ooh, soon the Scipii and the Julii could be bordering. That could be interesting. Carthage trying to retake Thapsus. Oh, that poor camel. You can just see him there. Oh, that poor camel rip. You know what? Can I get an F in the comment section this episode for that poor camel? Ooh, it is the Greek city-states putting Numantia under siege. Interesting. Not the Seleucid Empire. They're charging down there and trying to take it first. Oh, the Julii abandoned Campus Alani. Oh well. Oh, the Brutii losing 2 settlements in one turn. The Greek city-states took Numantia, and the Seleucid Empire took Corduba. The Brutii down to their final 3 settlements. They will probably survive, because the AI's not smart enough to really land on Ireland. So yeah, they'll probably survive. Unless they get regicided, of course. Britain became a vassal of the Julii. Oh, at long last, after all those wars, all those truces, the Julii come on down and they kick Macedon away. Macedon now weak again. Well, it was funny whilst it lasted. Scalabis under siege by the Seleucid Empire. And they took it as well. Portuguese Seleucid Empire, which started off as Genoa. Wow, the weird sentences that have come about from this series. The Scipii at war with the Spanish. Interesting move. Yeah, they definitely seem more interested in the east rather than the west, which I think is a mistake for the Scipii. There we go, Macedon and the Julii have a ceasefire. Surely that should be it now. Surely, no more wars between the two. Also, Thapsus, the Carthaginians retook it, so well done to them. Oh, well done to the Scipii for taking Tanais there. Well done to them. Spain, now down to their final settlement. And the Scipii go to war with the Numidians, who do have their final settlement. Right there. For those who want the capital update, as some people are usually interested in this, Ankara here is the Julii capital. Jerusalem is the German capital. It's so weird seeing these Egyptian settlements but with German culture. I'm curious where the Seleucid Empire has theirs. It's Massalia. Okay, right in the middle, makes sense. That's nice to see. The Greek city-state's capital is London, or Londinium. Capital of Carthage is Carthage, and now the Scipii. Sadly, it's not Rome. It's Apollonia. That does make sense, right on the coast here. Yeah, that does kind of make sense for them. By the way, a lot of people question this. The AI is smart enough to change its capital. The Greek city-states go to war with the British, putting the Amazon settlement under siege. And the Seleucid Empire has kicked the Brutii out of mainland Europe. The Brutii now limited to just Ireland. Ooh, a Brutii invasion of Greek Britannia. That could be interesting to see. Go on, Captain Valerius. Do we say the Seleucid Empire is a great power? What? Oh yeah. Flash flood. Got confused for a second then. Yes, I would. I would say they are a great power at this point. Well done to the Seleucid Empire. They've joined the club. Oh, it's just so interesting right now because we have 5 great powers on the map. And not one of them is at war with one another. They're all too scared to do it. They're all too scared to enter that complete chaos. They all want to take out the small little powers first, which I can understand, but We gotta see a big war at some point. I don't think it's going to be in today's episode. Macedon, just give up. Oh, the Brutii. Actually trying it, putting Devon under siege. Back at it again, are we, Macedon? Back at it again. Oh, rip Numidia. Faction destroyed. The Scipii did it. But well done over here to the Brutii for taking Devon. They've got more troops landing in Cornwall. Why couldn't you have done this earlier, Brutii? This is actually going to really hurt the Greeks. They've actually abandoned London as their capital. Yeah, they've moved it down south across the coast. Ooh. Are we going to see the rise of the Brutii in part 4? I'd welcome it. Okay, but anyway, that is where we're going to have to end part 3. I'm gonna have to call this episode Cold War, I think. I think I've got to, because that's basically what it is. 5 great powers, like really building up their armies, but not daring to actually go to war. And part 4, most likely, will be called World War. Yeah, for sure, it's got to be. But yeah, anyway, I do hope you have been enjoying this series so far. But we got one more thing to do. We gotta check for stats. Okay, so here we are. 4 great powers in it right now. The Greeks, the Germans, the Julii, and the Seleucid Empire. Is Carthage in this now? I'd say Carthage is too weak. But of course, then we have the Scipii. We all know they're going to be at the top, but by how much? Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot of power they have. Anyway, looking at this so far, I love this. Because the Germans and the Julii right now are the main rivals. Like, they've got to go to war at some point. The Battle of the Middle East. I've been saying it looks really balanced. And the balance of power, well, the faction Mankin agrees with me. It is very balanced. They're equal. It's going to be a really interesting war. Who knows, the Germans might just do it. That could be possible. I'd love to see it. The Greeks in second. If the Greeks and the Seleucid Empire work together, they might just be able to defeat the Scipii. Although it's gonna be difficult. There's the military ranking. Oh yeah, Scipii's military alone is almost the other great powers combined. Production, of course, the Scipii. Territory, of course, the Scipii. Germans and the Greeks have the same amount of land. Interesting. And then financial, which is always a little bit all over the place. But everyone seems to be doing fine. The Scipii at the top, of course, because they are the most valuable settlements. Julii going down a bit. Interesting. And then last but not least, population. And, ooh, Julii and the Germans again. Tie. Right at 280,000 people. So interesting. I'm loving this series and I hope you are as well. I have been MELKOR. Subscribe to get notified of more. Share this video with anyone you think may be interested. It all really helps me out, makes these series much more worthwhile. And it also might convince me to do more as well. So all support is of course welcome. But most importantly, I do hope you have enjoyed, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's video. But for now, goodbye.